Right, so quick video. I hope everyone's doing alright. And this video is about a trapper's tri-stick. So some of you might have heard of a tri-stick before, and that's something that Moores Jakanski had kind of made up, and it's a stick that you try lots of kind of cuts on. And he'd done one where, you know, all your kind of common kind of bushcraft notches and cuts you would do on a tri-stick. So I thought, well, you could possibly do one of all your kind of trap trigger notches. So a trapper's tri-stick. I'll run through what's on here. So a similar thing, you would carve it in a piece of wood. Yeah, and just doing the notches. So I'll show you what we've got. I hope I can show you this. So starting this end, we've got this bit which is pointed. Now that could be a part of several traps. It could be the top of a figure 4, the top of a peyote, the upright stick. It could be something what wedges into something, all sorts of different things, but that's one and a common cut. Then here we've got an Ojibwa bird trap top, so that's shaved at the sides, then you have to make a hole in the middle. There, got another notch like the back end of a figure 4 that could be used for all sorts of things. We've got this kind of cut that goes all the way around. That could be used for toggles, so that would have your string tied, stop it slipping up and down. Then we've come to a squared off part. Well, just a squared off part could be used on all sorts of traps. Then we've got this notch cut into it. Now that's a notch similar to a spring snare notch, or some types of figure 4 when they have a drop down trigger. And you've got a square notch there. Well, that's like the usual figure 4, the middle part of it, and say lashing sticks together. And we've got this other notch here, which is pretty much the same as this one, but that could be the notch you would cut in an Arapuca for the upright one to be held up. Now I just got to get the knife out to show you this. You may not be able to see this. And next we've got this here, just slightly cut into the bark and then lifted slightly, and that is for holding a snare or anything like that. Small, you know, 2 of them each side, the snare goes in there. And then we come to another semi-squared off part which would replicate possibly the end of a figure 4, your bait stick end, if you know what I mean, or the actual trigger part. These notches are bait holders or bait tying on, so you would put your bait on there, tie it on, the animal can't pull it off, and then just a square version there. Or if you do a figure 4 with a treadle plate, where you have the treadle plate hanging off a piece of string, that's what that square notch is. This kind of long flat one could be all sorts of different parts of a trap. I've done a similar thing like that when making a net trap. And then last we've got this cut in the end. I had cut it while the stick was intact as to kind of replicate if you did a split stick trigger, where you would do a stick, cut this notch in, put a small stick between it, put your other stick on top of it. So that there is, you know, if you carve that, you've carved all sorts of different trap trigger parts. in one stick. It's great practice. There's probably more you could do. If you can think of any, let me know, but that's all I could think of at the time. Yeah, so a trapper's tri-stick, something different and something people can try, and then, you know, good for showing people things, good for practice. If you got a new knife and you wanted to know if it was any good for making traps, and make a trapper's tri-stick, and you know your knife is going to work. I'll just tell you, all the notches and every single cut was made with this Swiss Army knife, using only the small blade, nothing else. I didn't use the saw because I wanted to just make sure I could do it all with the blade. And this is, I'll be honest, this is soft willow, so it's very easy to cut, but that makes it easier for you to do. Yeah, soft willow, this small blade. This has got a saw on it, but I wanted to try and do it with just a blade, nothing else. Right, anyway, yeah, trapper's tri-stick. Have a go. Let's see if you can make one. I'll see if I can put some pictures on as well. Right, cheers for watching. I'll see you later.